Welcome to the NSA Las Vegas Featured Membership Show. I'm your host, Dr. Katrina Burrus, and today we have a very special guest, Jack Peters. Welcome.
Right. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
So tell us a little bit how you help your client, Jack.
Sure. Well, I speak and train on leadership, and I do so inspired by my own adventures, like racing, treasure hunting, and explosives. You know, the usual stuff, right?
Explosive?
Yes.
Tell us the relationship between what you do and explosive.
Well, actually, what's interesting is I used to speak full-time way back before the recession, and the recession of '09 got me involved in training with explosives. And since then, I became an explosive specialist and able to do television shows on occasion with explosives, which I'll tell you more about later.
Great.
In fact, I'm going to give you a television exclusive.
Oh,
yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah. But I really like speaking and training. And what may differentiate me from maybe some other colleagues is I don't get much into problems, because we all have problems, and the more we focus on them, we get frustrated, and then we get angry, and then we tend to lose any creative ability that we could have had to solve that problem. So I like to ask questions that you will recognize as appreciative inquiry. Like, what are you really good at, and how can you do more of that? And what opportunities might you have that you can capitalize on to help grow? Because as an individual or a company, if we can focus more of our time doing what we're really good at and then putting a team together to do everything else, any problems we may have had are going to dissipate.
And more so because appreciative inquiries really allows you to be much more creative, right?
Yes. Well, because it's positive.
Yes.
You can't be creative.
And you're more relaxed. Huh?
Yes. You can't be creative and negative at the same time, can you? I mean, it's very difficult. I can anyway. So being creative helps being innovative.
And so tell us a little more how you help your clients specifically.
Well, what I want to do is find out what the backstory is and what they want to do. What's interesting is that if you ask people what they really want to do, a surprising number do not know, or they never really think about it. And so I encourage people to really think about, either as an individual or a company, what do you want to get out of your life? What do you want to get out of your business? And I ask that question a lot, and sometimes you hear what people don't want. Well, I don't want this, and I don't want to lose another sale, and I don't want a bad boss. Okay, I understand that. That's what you won't tolerate. Now think about, what do you want? Because by considering that, it provides clues to go to the next level. How do you get there? What your life's mission is based upon your superpowers that you may have. And then what I encourage is essentially going after each goal with 3 different elements. Leadership. What are you going to do and why? Teamwork is number 2. How are you going to do it and who's going to join you? And then the third thing is innovation. How are you going to do something a little bit better than anyone else so you can stay competitive and be in the game? I think if you can combine all 3 of those things, you're unstoppable.
And so you help just tease this out from your clients?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how long have you been doing this for?
I started speaking back in 2004. Actually, I've been at it for a long time.
Wow. Speaking
and team building and I've had some really good mentors. One of my mentors was a famous gymnastics coach named Bill Ballister, and he was also into off-road racing and started racing years ago and learned all these things, how racing and business have parallels.
So give us an example.
Well, here's an example. In racing, we say, you can't finish first unless you first finish, right?
Yeah.
I think training is the same way. It doesn't do a lot of good to get all this great training if you can't remember what it is or apply it on Monday morning. And my training is inspired based upon adventures. And so I like to find clientele that can appreciate that, not because I want to tell war stories about adventures, but if they're also adventure-driven or appreciate different adventures like that I'm involved with, then they're more apt to be engaged and remember the lesson. It makes sense to them, and they can actually apply it for their own level or higher level of success for themselves.
So you talked about explosive initially. So how do you bring that to your coaching relationship?
Well, over the years I've become an explosive specialist. And with that, or any type of extreme sort of activity like that, it tends to magnify business results. And if you're in the office or something and you have a bad day, maybe you get a paper cut. If you're involved in explosives or scuba diving or treasure hunting or high-speed racing, if you have a bad day, it's going to be much worse than that. So it tends to magnify the lessons, and it also makes it more fun and more interesting to provide those examples and lessons.
And I imagine you're highly focused because the consequences are very strong that an accident can happen. So you're highly focused, right?
Focus is absolutely it. It's here and now. It requires removing the distractions. I mean, think how much more we can do in our life if we remove the distractions, right?
Indeed.
Well, if we're doing an extreme event and business is extreme too. I mean, it's very, a lot of money's at stake, a lot of things are at stake. We have to be in the here and now. We have to be focused. And again, that all comes back to doing what we're really good at and doing more of that so we can really excel.
Very interesting.
I think that makes life fun too.
So how has NSA Las Vegas helped you in your career?
It's been amazing. I try to take a pretty steady diet of educational materials in, but honestly, I've only been with the program for a couple months, and I've learned more here than I have in the last 15 years.
Wow.
Just because everyone you work with here in Las Vegas is the who's who of speaking. I mean, it's amazing. Just the talent that's here. And what I'm very thankful of is the talent like yourself is able to help emerging speakers like myself.
Excellent.
Well, I've been at it for a while, but now we're ready to go pro. This is no longer a hobby, right? We're going to go pro.
Right.
And
my goodness. If you can do the parallel between a bomb and being focused and aligned to what you do best, I'm sure you're very pro at that.
Yeah, well, it's a real honor because, again, the people here at NSA, actually, I've been active in the Portland, Oregon chapter before this, excellent people there as well. But it's just so many really, really talented people, and to learn from them is a privilege.
Well, thank you. And so tell us a little bit about your 2022 endeavors.
I am honing my skills and coming up with some new keynotes and training programs. I have one that actually is inspired almost exclusively by racing called Checkered Flag Leadership, where the program uses examples from various forms of automotive racing. So that's a lot of fun for kind of a niche audience that enjoys that. And there's going to be some exciting opportunities with that I'll tell you about later when I can. And then also, I get to do television on occasion. I did a show for the Discovery Channel called Treasure Quest in Bolivia. We filmed it in South America. And I'm going to give you the exclusive right now. Coming up this spring on Netflix, there is a new Netflix original show that's a treasure hunting show, and it is called Pirate Gold of Adak Island. And so they sent us down to Adak Island. It was out in the Aleutian Island chain from Alaska. And I got to use explosives to help a treasure hunting team possibly find a whole bunch of gold coins. But I can't tell you more than that. That's all I can let out of the bag. But anyway, that will come out sometime this spring. I don't have a release date. I'll let everyone know when I get that. But that's an example of some of the things I get to do.
Oh, wonderful. And tell us, how can people get a hold of you?
I'm easy to find. My website is my name, jackwpeters.com.
Excellent. And we'll have that in the notes.
Very nice.
Thank you very much for joining us at the NSA Las Vegas Featured Membership Show. I'm your host, Dr. Katrina Burrus, and I'll see you at the next Featured Membership Show.